Good morning, first graders. We're going to be working on our math today. Page 291 and 292. Looks like this. This top here just asks you to write the numbers with the tens and the ones column. And then again here with the 10 and the ones. For number 2, you're just going to count by tens. And remember, since you're counting by tens, you're not going to change the ones place or the hundreds place. You're just going to change the tens place. And then here for number 3, it's just going to ask us to mark under the correct sign. So for the first one here, we have 126 and 26. And remember, our friends, our beaver and our alligator, they're so hungry that they have to eat the biggest number. So we need to make sure that the mouth is facing the biggest number. So 126 and 26. So we know that the bigger number is 126. So we're going to find the one with the mouth open towards that number. So we'll have this here. We'll color in the dot here because the mouth will be open to the biggest number. So we'll color in that one, and then we'll draw our sign there. And we know that this is the greater sign. So we're saying 126 is greater than 26. And then for the next one here, we have 47 and 74. And so remember, we need to put the mouth with the biggest number. And so we know that while 7's bigger than 4, we have to look at the tens column. So we'll look at the 4 here and the 7 there, and we know that 7 is bigger. So our mouth has to face this number here. So we'll color in this bubble here with the mouth open to the bigger number. And when we draw our bigger number in there, or our less than sign there, so we know that this says 47 is less than 74. And then for the next one, you just have to write the sums by counting by 2. So it's just pairs, and you guys know all about that. And then we'll move on to number 5. Write 1/2 of each number. So we'll start here, 1/2 of 12. So we know, so I've drawn 12 dots for you here, just like an egg carton that has 12 eggs, a dozen eggs. So we know that we're just going to split them in half, just like this. So we split them in half, and now we have 2 halves. So we want to know how many dots or how many eggs is half of 12. So if we count them, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that 6 eggs is half of 12, or half a dozen. And if we move on to the next one here, half of 14. I drew 14 stars for you guys here. And if we just cut those right in half, and then we count up one of our halves, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll put our 7 here. And we know that half of 14 equals 7 because these are 2 halves. All of the stars equal 14. Half of them is 7. And if we go on to the next one, we want to know half of 16, and here we have 16 fish. So if we just draw our line right down the middle of our 16 fish, and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know that half of 16 equals 8. So we have 2 halves here. Each half is 8 fish, and all together they equal 16. And half of 18 here, we have 18 dots. And again, we'll just draw our line right down the middle to help us. And if we count up half of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9. So we know that half of 18 equals 9. And so we have 9 here, 9 here. If we counted them all together, it equals 18. And remember, if you have to draw these objects to help, that you have to draw them one on top of the other so it's even. So we'll have 2 even groups. And then on number 6, the last on this page, it just says write the differences. And we'll all flip to the next page, 292. Maybe. Okay, and we're going to start off with some pi. It just says mark under the fraction that shows the greater part of the whole. So we want to know which pan has the most pi, which is the greater amount of pi. So if we look at number 1 here, we have half of a pi, and we have kind of just a corner of a pie. So we have half of a pizza pie, and then we have 1/4 here. So we want to know which one is greater. Which one are you going to get more food on? Is it going to be the half or is it going to be the quarter? So what is more food? The half. So for this one here, you're going to color under the dot, under the half, because that is more of the pie. And if we go to the next one here, this pie is split into 3 equal parts, and this pie here is split into 4 equal parts. So we have 1/3 and we have 1/4. So you guys can see here, which one would you rather have? Which one has the most pizza? This one here. So 1/3. So we know that out of these two, that 1/3 is greater. And then we'll move down to number 2. It says circle the number that shows the total parts in the fraction. So we want to know, what is it as a whole? What is the total parts in the fraction? So right here you have a half, a third, and a fourth. And so circle the number that shows the total parts in the fraction. So we're going to circle the 2, because that's going to be the total parts. So if you had 2/2, you would have 1 whole pizza. If you had 2 of these big slices, you would have 1 whole pizza. And then for this one here, we're going to circle the 3. And if you had 3/3, you would have 1 whole pizza. Like if you had 3 of these slices, it would equal 1 whole pizza. That would be the total amount. And this one here, 4. And if we look at this one, if we had 4 of those, we would have 1 full pizza. So it's just asking you the total parts. And you'll just circle the 2, the 3, and the 4, and these are the denominators. So you're going to circle the 2, the 3, and the 4 in those, because those are, if we had equal amounts, they would make up a whole pizza. And then it asks you to put those same fractions in order, from least to greatest. So let me grab a different color pen and we'll put them in order from least to greatest. So if we have 1/2, 1/3, and 1/4, right here, 1/2, 1/3, and 1/4. What is the least amount of pizza that we have? What is the smallest amount? It looks like this one here. This one here would be our least. Least in that fraction is 1/4. And what would be in between? What's between the biggest slice and the smallest slice? That would be the 1/3 here. We have 1/3 of the pizza there, and that's the between amount. And then the last one, the greatest. The greatest one is going to be this half. And that is 1/2, 1/2. Okay, and then we're going to move on. It says mark the dot under the correct sign here. So it's just asking us to compare our fractions, and we want to know what one is bigger or what one is smaller, if is it less than or is it greater than. So we know, if we look here, 1/2 and 1/4. So if we go back to our pizza, we know that 1/2 is bigger than 1/4, and we know that our alligator friend is so hungry that he wants to eat half of the pizza. So his mouth has to face this way here. And if you need any help, you can just draw his teeth in here. There's our alligator friend. He kind of looks like a shark, but he's so hungry, he's going to eat half of the pizza. So we know that it's this here, because his mouth will be open towards a bigger number. And so what we're going to say is 1/2 is greater than 1/4. And if we move on to the next one, we have the option of 1/4 and 1/3. Let's go back to our pizzas here. We have 1/3 and 1/4. So we can see that this one here, the 1/3, is bigger. And since our alligator's super hungry, he's going to want the 1/3 slice. So we'll color in the one there. And if we write it up top there, we see his mouth is facing the 1/3. And this says 1/4 is less than 1/3. And for the very last one here, we have 1/3 and 1/2. So if we look at 1/3 and we look at 1/2, we can see that this one's bigger. And since he's hungry, his mouth is going to have to face the bigger number. So we're going to color in this one here. And this is 1/3 is less than 1/2. And then we just have one more thing to do on this page. It says, Alex has 70 cents. He spent 40 cents. How many cents does he have left? So right here, we know that he has 70 cents. He spent 40 cents. How many is left? So remember, we start on our ones column. And so we know that 0 minus 0 is 0. And then 7 minus 4, we all know that's 3. And don't forget to put your cent sign there. So we know that he has 30 cents left, not just 3. And the last one on your page. Tina has a dime. She wants to buy some bubblegum for 16 cents. How much more money does Tina need? If she has 1 dime, we all know a dime is worth how much? That's right, 10 cents. And she wants to buy some bubblegum for 16 cents. So if I have 16 cents here, here's her dime, and here's a nickel and a penny. We know that she needs 6 more cents to be able to make 16 cents. So we're going to color in the middle bubble there. That says 6 cents. She doesn't need 3 cents. She doesn't need 8 cents. She needs 6 cents to buy some bubble gum. All right, and that's all for your math today. Just let us know if you have any questions.